So I was talking to a friend of mine a couple of days ago and he goes, I hate my job. And I said, welcome to the world. But we kept talking and we couldn't avoid seeing all the endless possibilities that the world offers if you just look in the right direction. In this video, I want to give you the 7 steps that you need to follow from how to decide which business is the right one for you to how to implement it and put it into action. So follow these 7 steps and you'll be able to transform your passion into a fabulous career. You ready? Let's get started. Step number 1 is identify your passion. And the main message here is follow your passion, not the money. I couldn't choose anything else than this as my first tip because you're truly never gonna make it if you don't follow this. Learn what money is for. Do you want to work so that you can make money, or do you want to make money by doing what you love? Following your passion will make you happy and most likely even wealthy enough, while blindly following the money will be a highway to catastrophe. Make money a motivator, a driver, but never make the mistake of making it your final goal. Money is just a byproduct of the perfect match between your passion and the needs of people. I know it's really hard to see like this because whenever we want to transform a hobby into a career, it's usually too late in our mind and we want to speed things up. Maybe we're not so young anymore, or maybe we studied 5 years at university and we don't want to throw all of that away, or maybe our role model is a successful person that has money, beautiful houses, beautiful cars, and the spontaneous reaction is usually to focus our effort into finding something that can make us money. If you don't follow your passion, at some point, I don't know when, but at some point you're going to give up. So don't let pursuing money leave you with a bitter mouth and a couple of wasted years. If I can give you a piece of advice from my bad experiences of the past, always follow your heart. Step number 2 is identify how your passion can make money. Now, browsing your passions and hobbies, you'll probably come out with at least a couple of interests that you can imagine would bring you joy if you could make a living out of them. Depending on the passion that you have now the test to understand what is the best way to make money out of it. This might sound like a contradiction to what I've said before, but I do believe that it's incredibly important to find a passion first and only then think how you can make money out of that passion. So there might be different ways to monetize your passion, and my suggestion would be to use internet as a starting point. The method that I want to give you that I invented, although there's nothing new about it actually, is going to help you identify what kind of business you have and how you can monetize it. This method basically helps you identify which one of the 3 types of hobbies you have and which one of the 3 monetization strategies you want to pursue. There are basically 3 kinds of hobbies you can have. There are creative hobbies, technical hobbies, or lifestyle hobbies. On the other side, there are 3 ways to sell on the internet. You can sell content, you can sell services, or you can sell products. First of all, identify which kind of hobby you have that you want to transform into a business. Writing, design, crafts, music, they're all creative hobbies. Languages, photography, mechanics, finance, they're all technical hobbies. Skateboarding, horse riding, and traveling, they're all lifestyle hobbies. Let's say, for example, that you have a creative hobby. Creative hobbies are usually open to all 3 kinds of monetization: content, services, and products. If you want to sell content, for example, you can create a blog that shows your creative skills, or you can use social networks to create a business page that displays your creations and the process behind it. If your creative hobby is something that somehow is complex, you could, for example, choose YouTube as a content channel and create long videos. If instead you think you can display your hobby with short videos because it's easier, it's not so complex, or maybe because you like it more, then you could use other social networks like Instagram or TikTok. Now, let's say that you want to sell services instead. You can use websites like Fiverr or Upwork and basically offer your services against payment. And the last thing you can sell is a product. Whatever creative hobby you have, you're most likely creating something that you can then sell. Let's say that you like writing. You may sell physical products, your books, and there are many self-publishing platforms that allow you to do that pretty easily, or you can sell digital products, ebooks. But if you're creative enough, if you think about it, you can come up with so many different digital products to sell. For example, let's say on the example of writing, you could also sell a PDF that teaches people how to write books. So as you can see, you have endless possibilities. You just have to define which kind of hobby you have, if it's a creative, lifestyle, or technical hobby, and which one of the 3 monetization methods you want to start with. Now let's make another example with a technical hobby and with a lifestyle hobby. Technical hobby might be, for example, photography. Again, you can start by one of the 3 monetization methods. Content, for example, a course on photography published on Udemy or Skillshare. Services, like becoming a photographer for events or weddings and selling your services on the internet through the website you created. Creating a website, by the way, has become extremely easy and cheap. You just need to buy a domain for like $10 and then you use WordPress.org and Elementor in order to create a website easily without any coding skills. And then we have the third, that is products. For example, as a photographer, every video or photo that you make has a value and can be sold on the internet. For example, you can sell stock photos or videos on websites like shutterstock.com or istockphoto.com. Every possibility that I gave you is, first of all, really easy to implement. And following this logical thread of defining which kind of hobby you have of the three that I told you and how you want to monetize it first is going to really help you to define a goal and pursuing it. So, now that you've identified which passion you want to transform into a business and how you want to monetize it, you need to take a closer look at the industry and identify any gaps, but without looking for the needle in the haystack. In other words, don't wait for the perfect idea. And why is that? Because let's say that your hobby is cooking and you want to monetize it by creating an Instagram channel about cooking. The problem that you're going to encounter is that on Instagram there are going to be thousands of cooking channels already. So what happens is that most people stop there and they never transform their idea into action because they think they're never going to make it. And this is good, of course, because thanks to the fact that most people give up, you're going to have more chances of making it. But of the few people that still manage to keep themselves motivated and still want to pursue their dream, a good part makes another mistake. They think and overthink in search of the perfect idea. They don't want to give up, but they don't even want to start until they can scream Eureka because they found the perfect idea, the $1 million idea that will make them rich in a couple of months. Now, what I can tell you is this. It's true that if you find something that people need and nobody has ever offered, well, of course it's going to be great. If you hear about startups that went from zero to millions within a couple of years, well, that's exactly what happened. But I also learned that if you aim at that, most likely you're gonna spend years and years trying to brainstorm the perfect idea, and in the end you're gonna be left with nothing. Instead, my suggestion is take action. Take massive action, and you'll see that after you start getting your hands dirty and gaining experience, you'll come up with new ideas that will help you refine your direction, and your business will start getting the right shape. What I want to say with this is that you're better off if you just study the competition and try to do a little bit better than the others. But don't waste too much time and start. Starting a business out of a hobby online is like writing a book. You can't have a clear idea of the story from the beginning, except if you are George R.R. Martin. Right, George?
There's certainly, and that's overstating it. I mean, there's certainly mistakes in the earlier books, so that's irritating.
And in the same way, even a business will transform and get better with time. There is always something that you can do in a different way, even if you don't disrupt the industry. And if you put yourself under the spotlight because you showcase your work online, as I told you, well, sometimes just your unique personality is all you need to be able to stand out. Okay, now you finally put your idea into motion and you're excited to start and show your work on the internet. This is already a great result. The first step is getting the right mindset. And it's important to focus on this step now in this phase, because if you don't develop the right mindset, you're doomed to give up at some point. There are three main concepts that I believe belong to the right mindset if you want to transform your passion into a career. Number one is give value to others. Whatever hobby you have, whatever idea you have, your whole energy and focus should be spent on finding the way to give value to other people. First of all, because if you don't, you're never going to feel that your work has a purpose. And without purpose, there is no motivation. Without motivation, you're never going to be able to feel joy. Imagine the idea of earning money from people without giving them anything in return. Well, this is called scam. But if you think about it, if you don't give value to others, well, you're probably scamming people. You need to positively affect people if you want them to be interested and give their valuable time to you. And the more you affect them in scale or in magnitude, the quicker your hobby is gonna start working and making money for you. Number two is there are no failures, only setbacks. Whatever you wanna start, your path to making it a successful business is gonna be studded with problems and obstacles. And many of them are gonna make you stumble so bad that you're gonna think it's not worth it to get up again. The trick here is to always remember that it's not going terrible because you're a failure, it's going terrible because that's the way things go for everybody. Now, concept number three is embrace the unknown. One of the biggest pieces of advice that successful startup owners or business owners give to newbies is to set aside fear and lean into weaknesses. Don't be afraid of embracing the unknown, and don't be too hard on yourself. Remember that you have a life ahead of you to learn more and more during the process. Check out what I said about this in my very first video of my YouTube channel. We live in a world where there is no knowledge-related excuse anymore. You can learn anything. Imagine what you can achieve in life if you have a clear idea of who you want to become and you dedicate your time and efforts to develop and improve your skills and knowledge required to achieve it. It's just incredible. All you have to do is take one decision: becoming a lifetime student. Okay, we have the right mindset now and we have everything ready. So the next step is start, but start with the right strategy. Some people drop their job and face a lot of risks without even knowing how soon their new journey is going to make them any money. The problem here is, I think, that on the internet, the very people that we see every day are the ones that made it within 1 or 2 years, like imagine the famous YouTubers, and some of them became millionaires. So what we think, the problem is that we think that if we invest the same energy, efforts, persistency, and we create the same quality content as they did, we're also gonna make it in the same time. But the truth is, no, it doesn't work that way. Statistically speaking, the probability that you're gonna make it as fast as the famous people that you know from the internet is so tiny that it's negligible. And it's not about you, it's not about the quality that you work, it's just statistics. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about the probability of success. I'm talking about the probability to succeed so fast. So, to make it short, a part of your strategy should be to start this journey as a side hustle. You always have time to work on your side hustle during the day, and if you think that you're liking it and you want to invest more of yourself into it, then you can gradually step more and more into the game. There are plenty of reasons why you should start making money out of your hobby before trying to make it into a career. But let's start from the most obvious one: money. In order to get it started as a real business, you're gonna need at least a couple of months of expenses saved up, and this regardless of the real cost of the business, just to have something to live on while you get things rolling. Beginning your business as a side hustle while still holding your old job is also going to help you get an idea of the actual need of your product or services. You're also going to understand the finances behind it and also how much work you're actually going to have to invest in order to develop that product or service. And the second tip that I want to give you about setting the right strategy for your business is to develop and define all the single steps that you need to achieve your goal. You should always have a huge dream and a big goal in front of you. But if you keep focusing on this big goal that is so far away from you, soon enough you're gonna feel lost. Big goals excite you in the beginning, but frighten you afterwards. Probably you know what I mean. You get an idea, you start doing something and you feel so thrilled because you finally found something that is worth investing your energy in. But as soon as the problems come up, your goals start feeling so farther and farther away that it gets so small that at some point you think it's worth giving up. The only way you can withstand all the obstacles that you're going to encounter and keep yourself motivated is by setting smaller, more manageable mini goals. This is going to help you because first of all, you get something smaller to focus on. And second, accomplishing these small goals, you're going to feel better. And even though you're still not the successful person that you aspire to become, it's going to make you feel that you're on the way there. Step number 6 is build your brand. The world has never been more full of young entrepreneurs trying to innovate. If you want to stand out from the crowd and be remembered, you need to be recognized first. Thinking about your own branding is a crucial step in making the leap to being self-employed. Market analysis, target customer definition, strategic brand management for your brand identity and strategy, it can all sound very complicated. And if you want to get everything perfect from the beginning, it will be. But remember, you need to take it one step at a time. Everything will get better with time. First, develop an online presence. It will be almost free of charge at the beginning, but it will play an important and significant role in helping you shape your new business. Now, one of the hardest things when transitioning from a hobby to a career or a business is finding people that are willing to buy into your idea. Branding, marketing, and an online presence will all help you with this, but think about other ways of reaching people. Whether it's networking events, local projects, there are various ways to build business relationships. Networking allows you to access opportunities you would never find on your own, and it's going to give you much more inputs in terms of ideas, options, and support than if you were pursuing the dream alone. By knowing people like this and exchanging information with them, you're going to be able to find gaps in the industry that you never thought about, to understand what kind of things they're looking for that they don't find in the market right now, and you're going to get a lot of good ideas and feedback. The great power that all good business owners have, and consider the great key to success, is that they created a network of competent and professional people, and every time they need something, there's always somebody within this network that can help them achieve it. Well, these were the 7 steps that you need to follow if you want to transform your passion into a beautiful career. I really hope you enjoyed the content of this video, and if you did, please consider subscribing to my channel, hit the like button and ring the bell. This way you will be notified of future videos and I will understand if you actually like this kind of content or, I don't know, I'm spitting meaningless words that nobody cares about. Let's also get in touch on social networks. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, basically wherever you want except Twitter. Why? I don't know, too many social networks. But anyway, I wish you a wonderful evening and I hope to see you in the next video. Ciao!